Hey there, quirky people! I'm your host, Anna, and today we'll be diving deeper into the return of Palpatine in Star Wars Episode 9. He is one of the greatest villains in a galaxy far, far away. Back when the Rise of Skywalker was about to arrive, people were confused thinking how Palpatine is returning. He was thrown down a shaft by Darth Vader, so that must have killed him for sure. But when he returned in the Rise of Skywalker, most of us were like,
somehow Palpatine returned.
But apparently, Palpatine was always worried about losing his power. So he created the Contingency, a plan that would help him reclaim the Empire if he were ever killed. StarWars.com gave us an official answer for how Palpatine returned. Well, as most of you would know by now, the short answer to it is cloning. But The Mandalorian Season 3 dives deeper and hints at a whole backstory about Palpatine's survival.
Look what you have made.
The Sith Lord's contingency began with Operation Cinder. This operation included Sentinel droids that destroyed several locations of the New Republic and the Imperial. That's because these places might have held clues about Palpatine's survival and return. So, the whole process of Palpatine's return was supposed to be kept hush-hush. Emperor Palpatine used to study about immortality on the planet called Exegol. So, when Palpatine died, his consciousness was transferred to a clone body on Exegol. But the problem with cloning was that his body was too weak to hold his consciousness. So they built more clones that could be stronger vessels for him. Ultimately, Snoke was created for the same reason. He was made to lead the First Order, which eventually led Rey to Grandpa Palpatine. The Sith Lord wanted to use his granddaughter as a vessel to contain his consciousness. And that led to a massive battle between Rey and Palpatine in Episode 9. Ultimately, Rey aligned with the Jedi, looking to stop Palpatine.
I'm all the Jedi.
Now, this is the basic recap of how Palpatine returned and what happened in the Rise of Skywalker. But let's talk about The Mandalorian for a while. Season 3's third episode brought the former Imperial scientist, Dr. Pen Pershing, to the New Republic. He revealed in his speech that because of the groundbreaking work of the Kaminoans, cloning became possible. In fact, a duplicate of a person could be created even with one small genetic strand.
We know that cloning can duplicate an individual from a single genetic strand.
He wanted to complete his research and help the New Republic. He wanted to do good. But he trusted the wrong person as Officer Elia Kane set up a trap for him. She was a former Imperial who worked on Moff Gideon's ship before being reallocated to the New Republic. But as it turns out, she was still loyal to the Imperial Army and worked as a spy in the New Republic. She bonded with Dr. Pershing and motivated him to continue his research. But when they went to a decommissioned Imperial ship, she got him caught red-handed. And then she was put under experimental treatment through a 602 mitigator that uses a light voltage to fix a person's mind. But Elia raised the voltage and turned it into a mind flayer. No, I'm sorry, not this one. This one. The Empire used the mind flayer to wipe out the brains of people and even interrogate them.
Oh, it's a mind flayer.
It's a similar device, but we found at low voltages it can be used to help soothe select traumatic memories.
We've already seen evidence of the mind flayer being used in multiple recent Star Wars stories. It was seen in Star Wars The Bad Batch Season 1, where the mind of mutant clone Crosshair was rewritten using the device, and Elia Kane later used it on Dr. Pershing as well. She did it as a means to protect Palpatine. If Pershing was allowed to help the New Republic, then his knowledge would have allowed him to find out about Palpatine's cloning and existence. So, this was a way to prevent Imperial secrets from leaking out. In fact, earlier in the episode, it was also teased that Moff Gideon may have been subjected to a mind flayer as well.
I heard they hooked him up to a mind flayer.
And he certainly must have had a clue about Palpatine, who was slowly regaining his power behind the scenes. So, just like Elia Kane led to Dr. Pershing's mind wipe, she or some other Imperial spy could have subjected Gideon to the mind flayer as well. After all, the Imperial did manage to keep Palpatine's return a secret for a long time. And they would have done that by making such dark and edgy moves. This is why Poe Dameron and everyone else around him were surprised when Palpatine eventually came back.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
It's amazing how The Mandalorian Season 3 is connecting to the sequel trilogy. That is, and always has been the true story of The Mandalorian. What do you guys think about it? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons if you enjoyed the video. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next one.